Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, listen, I just want to take a few minutes of your time to give you some thoughts and some resources. If you guys are anything like me, the images that were coming out of Afghanistan last week just hit me deep, and the depth of the depth of how they hit me really caught me by surprise. I mean, when I saw the panic and the fear and the desperation and the hopelessness of the images that were coming out of there, man, it stirred something in me that I had not expected, and it moved me to pray. Moved me to pray, even though I didn't really know what to pray for. It moved me to pray for what's going on over there. But here's another reality. Our lives have continued to move forward, right? And the intensity of what we first saw has probably diminished a little bit. I know it has for me. And because of that, I've tried to seek out some specific resources to keep me focused on praying for what's going on over there. And I want to share a couple of those resources with you. One is this. There's been a 7-day prayer guide designed and written by people who have interviewed and have firsthand knowledge of what's going on the ground in Afghanistan, specifically prayers geared towards the local church and what God can do there. So I invite you to participate for 7 days praying for what's going on in Afghanistan, praying specifically for the church, for believers that are there, for God to somehow do something really unique through His church in that region. If you go to the link in our bio, you'll see the prayer guide. You can click on that and then you can download it. The other thing is this, when I was initially seeing all this stuff and trying to figure out what to do, I wanted to try to educate myself. So I want to let you know about a podcast that's out there. It's a 42-minute podcast. It's on the Made for This podcast. So wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Made for This. There is I think it's from August 20th. There's specifically the podcast called What's Going On in Afghanistan. It's got interviews from a pastor that's in Afghanistan doing ministry. It's got conversations with people who are abundantly aware and have firsthand knowledge of what's going on there. So I just want to encourage you. We're all part of the same church, whether we're here in our tiny little corner of the world called Santa Paula. We're the same church that exists for those believers in Afghanistan. And I just really want to encourage you to take 7 days to shift your focus from the immediacy of what's happening in your life and pray for the church in Afghanistan. And I think these are really, relevant resources, the 7-day prayer guide and this 42-minute podcast, to bring awareness, bring some understanding, educate yourself so that we can continue to do what we can do best from a distance, and that's pray. So join me in the 7-day commitment, and let's just keep seeing what God has in store for the church in Afghanistan. The link is in the bio for the prayer guide again, and go to Made for This wherever you listen to your podcast and click on what's going on in Afghanistan.